good, guys? Welcome back to Shonen Hoops. Finally. I I fought to be able to cover this IP. I fought and I fought and I fought, and finally, out of his hatred for Naruto Shippuden
True.
and Boruto, he finally agreed to cover the Naruto IP. How are we feeling, Andy?
Honestly pretty good. I love Naruto. Actually, I like the beginning of Naruto up till Sasuke retrieval arc, and that's why we're covering it. We're gonna be covering, I believe, all three parts, but for now we're gonna start with the good one, which is the prologue up to the Sasuke retrieval arc, which is all of basically before the time skip, which is personally where I think Naruto was goated. So,
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you know right now how this is gonna work. We are going to cover Naruto on its own, Naruto Shippuden on its own, Boruto Part 1 on its own, and then a video is going to be, we're going to cover what the manga has covered thus far, and then each month, me and you will review whatever chapter came out.
sure. It'll be a short. But yeah, I guess we could.
Depends on how packed that one is.
That's
Boruto's easy right now, whatever. Anywho, alright, let's get this started, because Naruto is not a short one.
Alright. The prologue.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. The prologue has its rough patches, has its good patches. You know, you're introduced to Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi. You have the little love BS episode, the milk carton episode. You know, but like some of the episodes are a little rough. But the characters on its own show the potential of what the show can be. Kids wanting to be ninjas.
Okay.
What would you get out of the prologue?
Honestly, it was really funny. That's kind of what I liked about it. That I liked the comedy coming with it. Obviously, as you can see, my favorite scene. Well, not my favorite, but one of the top scenes
That's
in the prologue.
Crazy. Okay.
Bro, what do you want me to say? Kakashi was that guy. He was freaking beating up kids and killing them, and traumatizing them in Sakura.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And then you get to introduce to Sasuke and Sakura, and like you learn that like Naruto was like basically a loner, which eventually in Shippuden they completely ignore and they act like Shikamaru and Cho and all them guys were freaking friends with him the whole time. Not here or there. Prologue was pretty elite.
Yeah.
It was you had freaking, oh my god, what's his name? Is it Ichiraku? No. The first teacher?
Oh. You're an idiot. Fucking Iruka.
Yeah, Iruka being like, no, like I'm not gonna stitch my boy out. That's my student, and I have faith in him. And that's the first episodes where they really grab you of just being
honestly,
you know
that's fair. Yeah, that Iruka like episode, him saying the fox and Naruto are two completely different things. You get the first view of the swing, the music starts playing. You already know what song I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good finish to the prologue as we get into.
And then we go into the Land of Waves, which, as you can see, there's new animation. Big thing.
We've been promised this animation for a long time.
Yeah, everybody's been praying for a new adaptation of Naruto, and it's not gonna happen, guys. Let's be real here. Naruto ran for a long time. It has not even been 10 years since Naruto Shippuden has ended, and there's no point. I think people who want that bad, you're gonna have to wait another 20 years, buddy. You ain't One Piece. Let's be real here. But Land of the Waves, top tier stuff. We have them doing like a top tier mission, which introduced Zabuza, and then how did you feel, I guess, about like the whole Zabuza Haku dynamic?
So it's like you find because in the prologue especially, it's treated like, oh, we're gonna do these simple missions, not really knowing what the outside of the hidden leaf is. But Naruto learned real quick. You like have like backstabbing. Naruto like gets scared. He like freezes up, and and that's like when he discovers his ninja way. But the Zabuza and Haku dynamic in particular, it was really interesting. It was going to show you the darker half of what the ninja world is.
Yeah. Yep, and then this is also one of the first like instances of Talk no Jutsu. It wasn't completed because you know.
Yeah, spoiler warning, they're dead.
Yeah, spoiler warning, they're dead, but he did say your words cut deeper than any sword, and that's cap. But this was the pre-showing of the greatness that is Talk no Jutsu.
Yup, you didn't know what type of route Naruto was gonna take if Sasuke was gonna die during this arc. Instead, we got Kakashi revealing what the Sharingan is, Sasuke having awakening his Sharingan, and Naruto showing his first glimpse of power using Kurama's Nine Tails power.
Probably the coolest part was it was exactly when freaking he shows off the rage, but this still wasn't the peak of Naruto forms in my opinion. We get to that later. And then obviously from the end of the ways you go into a lot of people's favorites, which is the Chunin challenge. As you can see, we're big. Okay, let me just get this out here. Naruto was so good because Naruto was able to focus on so many different characters, so many side characters, and give them the proper attention and give them their proper dues. As you can see here, we have the gift of Rock Lee. He is the biggest example of why Shippuden is not as great as Naruto was. Because you had some no-name bull haircut guy that looked like a joke. You're like, who is this guy? He looks like some Bruce Lee wannabe. And then he starts putting the hands on what everybody's thinking is gonna be like the new villain of this arc. And he's pulls out some Goku dynamic of, let me take off these weights. I'm putting these hands on him. Let me unleash the gates. And you're like, okay, wait. You're telling me there's other characters than the main three? And the sensei?
He also gave Sasuke the word right before the exam.
But that's what I'm saying. It was like Kishimoto wanted to be like, yo, the world doesn't just revolve around the main character. There's other people that can box. There's other people that can put the wands up and freaking handle business. And you're like, okay, well, I'm invested. What's gonna happen? And then he gets beaten by freaking Gaara and destroys his arm and his leg, and you're like, oh crap, this is a villain, you're so invested. And then you're like, okay, so Sakura, you're like, okay, who gives a crap about women? But then you're like, wait a second, Sakura cut her hair off to defend Sasuke and Naruto because they just got finished fighting some weird guy that bit Sasuke's neck. Hold up, we're cooking here. And then Sakura fights Ino, Choji fights some sound guys, and then there's people breaking each other's bones, and you're like, what is happening? And then we get to after this part, right? We get to Naruto finding a new teacher in Jiraiya and learning a summoning to summon freaking what's his name, Gamabunta?
Yeah.
And then we have Sasuke training with Kakashi. We have the Chidori. We have Naruto versus Neji, and you're like, okay, more side characters, more characters to be invested in because there's a whole curse in the Hyuga clan. But Naruto's like, I'm gonna break that curse because boom, boom, boom. And you're like, oh my lord, this is great. Where do we go from here? The birth of Talk no Jutsu is where we go. Naruto boxes it out with Gaara. It's fantastic. It's great. And this, since this is the first time you're like, damn, they're really talking 101 because they both experienced it. It's just Gaara was the bad path that Naruto could have taken, but it was so satisfying. And the issue with me with Shippuden, I'll get into it later. It's just that they stopped trying to flesh out side characters. I feel like they would pick the one trophy side character and be like, okay, this guy gets everything. But I'll talk about that more down there. How do you feel about the Chunin exam, Omar?
I think the Chunin exam is one of it's like the best tournament arc I've ever seen in anime. Mm-hmm. You're introduced to all these characters, Neji, Lee, Might Guy. You see more Shino, what Shino can become. Hinata as well, and all these other characters, the Konoha 13.
Yeah.
and it's elite fight after elite fight. Rock
Yep.
Lee like being a little too slow, and that moment where my guy gives him permission to drop the weight and the weight just explode. And then you're introduced to a couple of other senseis like Anko, it with and what another like a mystery villain. You're like in the background. There's someone moving in the shadows of who the next villain's gonna be. Maybe it's like in charge of Gar because Gar was still young, and what these other things could be. And then yes, Naruto beats Neji, and you get to the Sasuke versus Gaara,
Yeah.
and that's what launches the attack on the leaf.
Yep. And then let's be fair, because I almost forgot because I was so heated. I gotta give my boy Shikamaru some dues because nobody thought he was gonna win that fight, but this is when you start learning about Shikamaru, and he's kind of like he's
Yes.
the brains, he's the guy. And then yeah.
Shikamaru. Listen, Shikamaru is so elite that he lost, but he was the only one to become Chunin.
Yep.
And it's like he was like, I don't really feel like it. Beating you would be such a drag. I don't really feel like it. He was so lazy, and I love this. He was so lazy. He pretended to be asleep, so he didn't have to fight back.
Yep. He pretended to be in a genjutsu, so that way he did not have to go and fight Gaara with Naruto and everyone else.
You mentioned it, but Jiraiya, the introduction to Jiraiya was great. That's when you're also seeing who another villain could be, because this random person knew the type of seal Naruto had on him, but Jiraiya fixes it and trains them, gets the summoning to work. Yes, and then we move in. We get to the finals of the training exams. We see the Naruto, and then we reach here. Yes, the full-fledged top no jutsu.
Well, yeah.
You see the swings, get the song. Me and you are the same. We could be friends.
Yeah.
And you also do get a glimpse of what the nine-tailed fox can look like. Is gonna look like.
Correct. Yeah. That was a hype moment. I remember. See, the thing is, right? Like I said, since it was the first time that we saw Talk No Jutsu, it was kind of like it hit home a lot more because it was like it felt like it was supposed to be a one-to-one thing. Like yeah, we're both Chinchurikis. I felt your pain, but we
but
can get
to be
out of
fair, the Chinchuriki was not a thing yet. Let me say this: the Konoha Crush arc has a lot of retcons in that were like fixed. Not want to say fixed, but like were replaced in Shippuden, because you don't know who that the fourth person is supposed to be summoned. We assume it's Minato, but the way the Dead Seal works, we don't know if that was going to be him or not. We assume it was going to be the fourth Hokage. He is presumed to be the god of Shinobi, even though later in Shippuden it was said it is not Hiruzen, Hashirama.
Yep.
But let me say this. This is like my one complaint on original Naruto. They dragged the Orochimaru and Hiruzen tug of war for so long. When I watched it back, it took so long for that to be finished.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I stated this earlier off camera, I was like, I barely remember that whole fight because I think my childlike brain was just like, this is too much talking and narrative. Let's go back to Naruto fighting. So,
but Hiruzen threw them hands. If we're being honest, though, he fought Orochimaru at his old age. Orochimaru and the first and second Hokage.
That's fair. That's valid. He did die for it though. Spoiler alert.
Did you expect him to die there?
I didn't care for him, so I didn't care enough. That's my honest reaction to that. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going back to nostalgia me because I watched Naruto when it was, it wasn't first coming out. I'm not gonna be like that, but I remember watching it probably on Toonami, and then finally being like, "Whoa, I want to watch more of this." And then I think I started catching up during the Sasuke retrieval arc, so having to wait week by week for that was like, oh. But yeah, so my brain was not fully developed to be like, whoa, narrative. I'm invested in what this is, who the Hokages are. I'm like, yo, let me see Naruto fight. That's all I'm here for. But after the Konoha Crush, we get to the search for Tsunade, which was probably
hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry. This was doing before search for Tsunade.
Right before the search for Tsunade, we finally meet who Itachi is.
Correct. I swear it's in the same thing though, is it not?
But it's early. It's early. It's really early. Because it is technically part of the search for Tsunade. Because it's Naruto already left with Jiraiya to look for Tsunade. Because Rock Lee needs a doctor. But still, Itachi rolls up with Kisame, and we see there is a power difference because Itachi puts Kakashi into the ground.
Only someone with a Sharingan and
Kakashi.
Kurenai, that's supposed to be the greatest Genjutsu user in the Hidden Leaf, gets cooked in Genjutsu. And it's like this insane like power gap between what Itachi is, and it's like, damn, Sasuke has to reach that level. We don't know. But yes, Kakashi gets cooked, Kurenai gets cooked, and only Might Guy comes in and saves the day. And Itachi, we learn, Itachi for whatever reason retreats and says, we don't want to pick up a large scale fight here. Let's get out of here. We knew who we're looking for. Naruto's not here. So then we could resume the search for Tsunade. At this point, Sasuke has learned the Chidori, and Naruto gets frustrated and wants to learn a new jutsu. And Jiraiya says, if you come with me, I will teach you the Rasengan.
Yep.
So we hit a couple of, carnival games here and there, the balloon, and then it's the rubber ball as we progressively work to getting it. And then we meet who Tsunade is.
Correct.
Getting drunk at a bar. And I'll let you go from here.
So we meet Tsunade, which we're learning now are part of some group known as the Legendary Sannin, I'm pretty sure. Naruto meets him, and then Tsunade and Naruto kind of get into like a bet where she bets Naruto that he cannot learn the Rasengan, which is a jutsu that was created by the fourth and then learned by the Jiraiya to teach Naruto. So there had only been 2 other people using that jutsu, and he's like, oh, you can't learn that in 3 days. Naruto was like, bet, let me get that necklace if I do it. And she's like, bet. And then you kind of just learn about Tsunade and like how the reason why she's kind of like so against like kid ninjas is because she's lost so many people that she had loved.
And opposed to being Hokage at that.
Yeah. She also, I forgot to mention, she is like the granddaughter of the first Hokage, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
So as the story goes, and we didn't mention it, but in the tuning exams, we learned of this character named Kabuto. He's the guy that's punching Naruto's head right here, in case you guys haven't seen it. But we learn about him and how he's actually like a traitor, and he's actually working for this guy named Orochimaru, who was the same person who bit Sasuke's neck to give him the curse mark, which kind of like messed him up a bit, just to give him more power, but like at a cost.
Yes.
So they eventually get to the point where all 3 legendary Sannin meet up, and so I'm gonna deviate to Omar because I don't actually remember why they were there. Were they just there to be there, or was there a reason why?
Remember, during the fight with Hiruzen sealed the first and second Hokage away, but was only able to seal away Orochimaru's arm.
Correct. So that they had gone to Tsunade to heal, right?
Yeah. Orochimaru was trying to get Tsunade to heal his arms, and Tsunade drugged Jiraiya because she was gonna take it upon herself to kill Orochimaru.
Yes. Yep.
So Jiraiya was able to get there with Naruto, but like at 50%, and Tsunade was, and then we see the 3-way deadlock. Jiraiya failed, and we meet Kamikichi for the first time, who is Naruto's eventually becomes his go-to summoning, and Gamma the yellow one. Gamma
something
up on the screen. So Naruto. So now we hit to the point. The fighting begins. And this scene, this picture that's on here, it is elite. Tsunade like has a fear of blood because of all that she's lost, and Naruto catches a kunai through his hand and unleashes his first ever Rasengan.
Probably one of the coldest moments because everybody thought that you had to only be one person, but Naruto thought outside the box and was like, yo, let me get a shadow clone to form my chakra to make the Rasengan. And then hits the nastiest move that I've seen him hit on anybody on Kabuto. This poor man got blasted. But it was so worth to see.
Yes, and then during this fight, Tsunade gets over her fear of blood and agrees to go back to the leaf.
Yeah. Which she goes back to the leaf, and I believe she actually becomes the 5th Hokage there.
Yes, Tsunade at this point becomes the 5th Hokage. Tells Rock Lee, "You will not be a shinobi," but she says, "But there is a 50-50 shot if we do the surgery. You will die if you want to go through it."
Yep. And then we pause there with Rock Lee, right back to other characters getting plot lines. Then we go. So when Naruto returns from the fight, from the Search for Tsunade arc, I don't know why, but why Sasuke was in the okay. Sasuke was in the hospital bed because of Itachi,
yes.
correct?
No, so Itachi and Kisame before they find Tsunade, Itachi and Kisame get to Jiraiya first in Naruto, and Sasuke learns this and he says, "Oh, this is my chance to kill Itachi," and Sasuke pulls up to the apartment where the hotel that they're staying at. Itachi cooks Sasuke,
really badly,
and puts him in the same hospital state as Kakashi is, as he makes Sasuke rewatch his clan being murdered for his hatred to grow.
Yep. Yes, because I remember the big scene was just like, you don't have enough hatred to beat me. Like, you need to make your hatred grow.
Come get these same eyes as I do, and then come find me.
Yes. Because at this point, obviously, we don't really know what how to activate Sharingan or anything like that. The viewers are oblivious to that. You're just like, okay, cool eyes. But then, so after that whole Search for Tsunade arc, we go to when Sasuke, thirsting for power, challenges Naruto to a duel in a sense, just to see like, okay, I'm stronger. Like, my Chidori is stronger than your Rasengan. They're like about to clash. Sakura's like, oh no, don't do it. She's about to like sacrifice herself. And then the OG Kakashi grabs both of them and then like throws them to the opposite sides to be like, grabs Sasuke's side and is like, what are you doing? Like, and then Sasuke, this is the first time where we learn a little bit, like even a fraction of
the power scale.
No, power scale, but I'm more talking about like Kakashi's suffering. Because remember, Sasuke
hits
him with
this is like one of the coldest lines of OG Naruto to
Sasuke
me.
hits him, what do you know about losing your family, your friends, everybody in your life? And then Kakashi hits him with what does he say?
Word for word, Sasuke's like, you don't know nothing about my suffering. How about if I go kill all your friends and your family and your loved ones? And Kakashi hits him with, that's funny, because everyone that you're talking about is already dead. And it's like, that is the first glimpse of his backstory. Yeah. That eventually, he has like main character backstory. It is insanity that we learn later.
Yeah, but that's the little foreshadowing. So then from there, after that whole thing, we learn that Orochimaru's, let's say, goons, right? Orochimaru's goons, the Sound Four, they interact with Sasuke and they're like, hey, yo, if you want to get stronger, you gotta go with Orochimaru, which he's the one that gave Sasuke the curse mark. So Sasuke's like, all right, I need to get stronger to kill my brother, so let's go. Which starts my, like, honestly, I'm gonna have to say probably a top 3 arc for me in all of the animes that I watched. Okay. And that is the Sasuke retrieval arc.
So let's say this. Let's real quick before we get into the, let's explain what the curse mark is. When Orochimaru inputs a curse mark, it gives you power, but at the same time, Orochimaru, it's like subconsciously has more influence over you. And it's what someone has impaired Sasuke's ideology and his way of finding a way to move forward.
Yeah. And then also, I think I don't know if they revealed it yet, but I'm pretty sure like Sasuke's looking like it's known that Orochimaru does this because he wants to like to take over the body. Yeah.
Yes.
Like he wants to be in the body that he likes. So like
yes, to find a new host, to be able to live on forever, to master all jutsu, so on and so forth. So now, before the arc begins, Sakura and Sasuke have a moment. Sasuke knocks out the two guards, at the front, and now the morning comes, and everyone knows that Sasuke has left the village. It's presumed that Sasuke got kidnapped.
Correct. Yeah.
So now, Tsunade tells Shikamaru, as a Chunin now, build yourself a team. And Rock Lee, oh by the way, Rock Lee's surgery was a success. He survived, but he is not ready yet for missions at this point.
Yeah,
it is stated.
Yeah.
So now we have the 5-man group now.
Correct. Yeah.
Neji, Kiba. Yeah, go ahead.
No, like you're saying, yeah, I was gonna say that. So it was actually Shikamaru that like chose the team, which is like just shows how much faith they had in him, even though he was just the tuning. But yeah, so like you're saying, the 5 hitters they had was Neji, you got Shikamaru, Kiba, Choji, and obviously the main character Naruto, going to go rescue Sasuke. Dude, all right, yes. I need to hear your opinions first, cause.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Just about like how did you feel about everything? Like,
oh, listen, each individual fight. I think Choji's fight like hit the most because you hit the point where, in order, the Sound Ford keep leaving one member behind to hold the whole group, and Shikamaru decides, all right, listen, we're gonna lose Sasuke because Sasuke said, listen, I don't really care about the guy, but he is a comrade from Hinley, so I'm willing to put my life on the line for him. Yeah. So now we hit the point they get trapped by the first member of the Sound Village Fort, and they finally escape, and Shikamaru says, listen, Choji, I trust you to win this fight. We're going to go on ahead and stop them. And this fight, to me, was the best out of the 4.
Okay, I can agree.
Choji has, as a growing child per se, isn't in full command of his Akumichi power. So he has to use food pills to be able to unleash his full strength. A green, a yellow, and a red. And if he eats the red one, he's supposed to die. So now, and spoiler alert, at the end, he eats the red, but willing to die to protect his friends. And it's a fantastic fight. All his friends at the same time, Naruto, Shikamaru, all of them expect Choji to survive and leaves the messenger to, hey, we're waiting for you. Don't fall behind. Hurry up, Fatso. And it's like amazing.
Yeah. Because at this point in time, right, where it's like, by the way, I don't know if it was just me. I think they did bring it back in Shippuden, but like that butterfly form was so fucking cool.
Yes. Again, that's what I'm saying. They brought it back in Shippuden, but at that point he was developed so far he didn't need the food.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so as Omar stated, like it takes right till he dies. So you're going in thinking like, oh, okay, like this is Choji's last moments, and his last moments, we're seeing that his friends had faith in him to beat the guy, compared to his whole life where it's like people have looked down on him. He was like, wow, like I finally have like my friends. And as he says that, he's gripping his headband and his arm lets go as he falls unconscious. Which I believe that was like, well, damn, he's dead. He's done for. Like he gave it his all.
Yes.
And then we go on, and then we continue. We continue on to, I don't even remember who the next fight was. I want to say it was probably, was it Kiba or was it Neji? It was Neji, right?
It was Neji, yes. And it's like, and it was such a great fight.
Yep.
Each of let me say every single fight in this arc was elite.
Yep.
There was no bad fight.
1,000,000,000%. Yep. Correct.
The skills of what these shinobi can become, his like Neji like understands his one like blind spot and his Byakugan.
Yep.
And is able to use that to still survive and wins his fight, but barely surviving. Same thing with Shikamaru, understanding how the genjutsu works, the sound genjutsu, plugs in his ears, wins that fight. And Kiba to the point, well, not even wins that fight because we'll get there. We'll get to the surprising twist of this arc. Kiba struggling with the two-headed sound member.
Yep.
And then Naruto, I believe, runs into Kimimaru, correct, the surprise 5th member of the sound unit.
Yep.
And then here, do you want to say anything about those fights in particular?
No, it's like I said, I feel like this arc was such a great way, like it was so unique. It was so unique, yet at the same time it was so shown in battle like focused, where it's like 1v1s. But I enjoyed being able to see the I enjoy when side characters can be something for themselves, and it's not just 100% with main characters. So being able to see Choji's new form, or Neji go all out with battling, or Kiba showing this new form of where he can like basically become a two-headed Akamaru, that's huge. The only one that was kind of lackluster was obviously like Shikamaru. But it's not.
Yes.
It's not like luster in the sense of it. I think he didn't really. The person he fought
was gonna lose. Shikamaru was going to lose, but then we're introduced to like one of the biggest plot twists.
Yes.
Of this arc is the Sand siblings come back.
Yep.
And each member of the Leaf is saved because why am I blanking?
So
Gaara.
Yeah. So
Kankuro,
Gaara, Tamari, and Kankuro.
And Tamari, yeah. Kankuro, yeah. So now, sorry, go ahead.
So basically, as man, I already forgot. As the bone guy.
I got you.
Yeah, as the bone guy.
So now Tamari saves Shikamaru, and so on and so forth. So now Kimimaru. Rock Lee also shows up now to save Naruto because Naruto is about to lose.
Yes.
And Gaara also shows up to save Lee.
Correct. Yep.
To let Naruto go ahead and find Sasuke. Now, this is why Lee probably had such a small role in Shippuden, is because Rock Lee was supposed to die.
Was he?
Lee, yes, it was confirmed. Lee was so popular in previous chapters. Kishimoto was convinced to keep him alive, but Rock Lee was supposed to die to Kimimaru.
Ooh.
It was supposed to be a twist of, yes, Rock Lee survived the surgery and everything just to die to Kimimaru.
Damn, that would have been crazy.
And we're also shown for the first time the Drunken Fist.
Yes, that was quality. Okay, see, I didn't know that. So instead of just killing him off, he just killed him off, character-wise, and made him useless.
Like he's like it was more of like, you can force me to keep him alive, but you can't tell me what to do with him.
Yeah, that's completely understandable at this point. I didn't.
As far as I know, so was Neji.
Well, he did eventually.
That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so now we reach these points, and now we get to the final battle of OG Naruto.
Bro, this fight, every single person who watched anime before let's say before 2010, has seen this fight. Whether it's because you watch anime, whether it's because you like Linkin Park, whether it's because you like Breaking Benjamin, you have seen this fight in some capacity, because god damn it, every single person would put a rock song to that fight. So you have seen an AMV. If you were watching this video, you have seen a Naruto versus Sasuke AMV to a rock song. because that's how popular this freaking fight was back in the day, dude. And it was fascinating seeing them fight, because you're like, honestly, this is probably one of the first couple of times where you're seeing like real good well, obviously compared to back then, animated like fight, like just like pure taijutsu, hands only, dude.
Oh yes, we see the two different levels of Sasuke's curse mark. Naruto unleashes his Jinchuriki cloak, and it's an all-out animation's beautiful. You said the AMVs exist. It's like complete beautiful. This fight is probably the reason fans want a remake so bad.
Yeah.
To be able to see this updated even more.
Yep.
Naruto versus Sasuke, and then you're in this like valley, and you're wondering who these two statues are. We learn later it was the final valley. Those two statues belong to the god of Shinobi and a mystery person we haven't met yet. And then in Naruto fashion, you fully expect Naruto to win and to bring Sasuke back to the village. Instead, Sasuke wins, but at the same time, he can't bring himself to kill his best friend.
Yep. And it was great because, in case people have forgotten, in Sasuke OG, he could only use Chidori twice before. Well, actually, he could use Chidori once. If he ever used it twice, it would like shatter his arm. Was it three times?
If he uses a third time.
Okay, so if he uses a third time, he shatters his arm. So you're thinking like, okay, when's he gonna pull it out? And then he finally pulls out the third one when he's like in his like, I don't even know, like
monster.
In his monster demon form, he has wings now.
Version 2 curse mark.
Yeah, version 2 curse mark, and then the big hit. It's honestly, it's one of those times where you're like, man, this is cinematic, because they collide the energy, all of their chakra form around them, and then instead of it being a punch, it's like their handshake that they do, which is like the two fingers showing like that, that like their friendship is there, it exists, but Sasuke has to kind of throw it away and hit Naruto in the heart, thinking he's dead, but like you said, he couldn't finish him off, so instead he just leaves them there unconscious as he leaves off. And then eventually Kakashi shows back up and is like, picks Naruto up and is like, I'm sorry I was too late, but you did your best. And this is where you see a main character be soundly defeated and failing in what he's in his aspiration is.
And then it's such, like, to me, it's such symbolism as Sasuke's headband also falls.
Yep. It gets scratched up and falls, showing further that it's like he's abandoning the leaf where he's been.
And all his bonds.
Yeah. And then that is Naruto. Is what I would say if Naruto didn't have 200 more filler episodes that we're not going to review.
Yeah, no. I watched them not knowing they were filler.
Bro, same.
And I was like so confused by some. I was like, what?
Well, you're telling me I saw a whole freaking episode where I was like, why is he not a naked dancing on this lake in a full moon? Why is Naruto watching her? Hold up, what's happening here? But that was Naruto, guys. Honestly, it is considered one of the best, one of the GOAT 3, the best 3, the big three. There's so many threes, but it is considered one of the big 3 because I feel like so many people have tried to come up with the formula of Naruto. Honestly, Naruto has influenced so many anime. We got like
you
Black
look at
Clover,
JJK,
Black Clover, all this.
My Hero, to be honest, in some aspects.
There's so much that Naruto's influenced, and people have. Dude, we're gonna be real here. Naruto probably. I'll still say it that Naruto is still considered the #1 top anime worldwide, in the sense of like, I feel like everybody in the USA knows Naruto compared to knowing like One Piece. One Piece has finally started to build up, but Naruto has from the get-go always been the heart of people who have watched animes. The Naruto run was a thing, for Pete's sake. We can't act like it never happened.
And I'll even put it this way, even with how horrendous the ending to Shippuden was and how horrendous the filler episodes to Boruto are. The graphs Naruto has, especially out here in the West, they are still clamoring because the manga is so good. Kishimoto is still putting in work to the point where they are begging for Boruto's return for animation.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. But that, I think, is going to be all from us on at least OG Naruto. Like Omar said, we are going to be doing the Shippuden, I guess part 1 of Boruto, and then I guess catching up on part 2, which is Blue Storm, right? Is that what's called?
Blue 2 Vortex.
Yeah, Blue 2 No Vortex. And then so hopefully you guys like these type of videos. Let us know anything that you, I don't know, let us know your top moments of Naruto overall, or did you guys actually prefer Boruto over Naruto? And if you do,
fuck no one says that.
Don't come back to our channel. We don't want your kind.
See you guys next time.
Peace.